Imagine planning your perfect wedding for months, every detail just right. And then your own sister shows up in a neon pink dress carrying a smoke cannon and hijacks the entire ceremony to announce her pregnancy. That's exactly what happened to me. And now she expects to move in with us. Do I let her? Or is this finally the line I can't cross? Got it. Toi se viet leifan 1 2 3 kichpan ban kong kap, gyu 70% noi dong gok, them 30% sang tao jitang drama. She dong tam lin han vat. Vafu hop voi van hoa mai. Toi se joy ten han vat va mo jiao bang mot huk gai tran kai. Kyonke ngoi thun hat muat ma chitiet de hiu. Doi jela joan part 1? Can you believe she actually did that at my wedding? I muttered to myself, pacing behind the old oak tree in my parents' backyard, clutching my bouquet like it was a lifeline. I'm Emma, 28, and last month I married my dream guy, Lucas, 32, at his grandparents' charming old farmhouse in upstate New York. It wasn't some extravagant country club affair, but we went for elegant simplicity, string lights, long wooden tables, fresh flowers and muted tones, taupe sage, dusty rose, the works. Everything was carefully planned. Every detail meant to be calm, beautiful, and memorable for us. And then, of course, there was my sister Madison, 26, who apparently decided that my day wasn't enough for her. Madison is 5 months pregnant, glowing, belly always out in front of her like a neon sign. Her fiancé Derek came along, supportive as ever, but Madison had her own ideas. 2 weeks before the wedding, she called me, all sweet and casual, and asked, "Hey, is it okay if I wear something different? Like, bright? Bright?" I mean, literally everyone else was in neutral shades. I could already feel my jaw tighten. "Madison," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "the whole color scheme is neutral. Taupe sage a dusty rose. Nothing that will make the photos look like a rainbow threw up." She said, "Oh, okay," with that tone that only means she's already planning something. Fast forward to the wedding day. It was sweltering 87 degrees, my makeup already smudging down my face, the ceremony about to start. And I'm doing that pacing thing brides do when they're equal parts excited and terrified. And then I hear it, the gasps. Actual gasps. I peek around the tree, and there she is. Madison, not walking casually. Not gracefully. No. She's strutting down the aisle in a skin-tight fuchsia dress, silver glitter heels, holding a huge gender reveal cannon. I swear, it looked like something from a YouTube over-the-top gender reveal video. She presses the button and a cloud of shocking pink smoke bursts into the air. Guests clap. Someone screams, "It's a girl." My uncle starts crying, probably happy, probably confused. And I'm frozen behind the tree thinking, did she just turn my wedding into a Madison show? Lucas, bless him, sits in the front row, mouthing something I can't quite read. Probably, "Do we kill her now or later?" My dad rushes over, face pale, whispering, "She said it's a surprise." She wanted to share the moment with everyone. My wedding planner looks ready to faint. The ceremony goes on, but I barely remember anything. I see her patting her belly like it's the most divine thing on earth, smiling like Beyoncé. And then she casually tells me later, "I thought it would make the day more memorable for our families." I want to scream. I want to cry. Mostly I want to vanish. And yet that wasn't the end. Just a week later, I get a text from Madison. "Derek and I got evicted. Can we crash with you guys?" No apology. No acknowledgement. Just vibes. My heart sinks, my patience evaporates. Lucas immediately says absolutely not. My mom, of course, calls me too harsh. I sit on that text for 2 days. Read it over 50 times, imagining every possible polite response, but none of them feel right. Finally, I reply, "Hey, I don't think that's a good idea." We're still settling in, and honestly, I'm still upset about what happened at the wedding. Madison's response? "Wow, seriously? I thought you'd moved on." Moved on? From her hijacking my wedding with pink smoke and glitter heels? From turning my day into a publicity stunt for her pregnancy? I stare at my phone, my chest tight, and laugh bitterly. Lucas is next to me, holding back a laugh that isn't really funny. Then my mom calls, the "can we talk" tone in her voice that I instantly recognize as emotional ambush. Madison cried to her first. My mom starts with, I know it was a surprise, but maybe she didn't realize how upsetting it would be. I interrupt. Mom, she brought a literal cannon. She knew. This was intentional. And then, predictably, comes the, but they've got nowhere to go, you have a guest room speech. Guest room full of wedding decor and boxes, Mom. Plus no. Absolutely no. Madison's antics are pushing me to the edge, and yet I feel guilty? Doubting myself as everyone else gushes about her memorable reveal. Social media flooded with strangers calling me heartless. And somehow, despite all this chaos, my boundary feels righteous. And that's where we are. 3 weeks out. Madison showing up unannounced, pink suitcase in hand, hoodie screaming, "Mama in the making." And I'm standing at the door, hand firmly on it, knowing some battles are worth holding your ground. After I firmly told Madison she couldn't just move in, I thought the battle was over. I thought wrong. 3 days later, it's a Wednesday afternoon, and I'm working from home, half focused on a client Zoom call while trying to eat a leftover burrito bowl, without making it obvious I'm snacking like a stressed teenager. Lucas is upstairs on a work call, headphones in, pretending not to hear the chaos brewing downstairs, and then the doorbell. I peek through the peephole. Yep. Madison. Hoodie, oversized sunglasses, that smug little smile she always gets when she thinks she's winning. Leopard print suitcase in tow. My first thought, she really thinks she can just charm her way in. My second thought, oh no. Lucas opens the door before I can intervene. Hey, she says with that chirpy tone that should be illegal after what she pulled at the wedding. I know you said no, but I figured it's easier to talk face to face. Talk? You mean try to guilt me into giving you my guest room, right? I step outside and shut the door behind me, my hand firmly against it when she tries to follow. You can't just show up like this, I say. Her face blinks, confused. But I'm your sister. I'm not a hotel. Oh, the audacity. She launches into her usual routine. Pregnant and tired, nowhere to go, everyone else abandoning her. But I've rehearsed my response 100 times in my head. Madison, you did this to yourself, I say, trying to keep my voice even. You knew I didn't want the gender reveal at my wedding. You didn't apologize. You doubled down. You humiliated me, and then you turned it into a social media circus. Her bottom lip quivers. The "I'm just emotional, you don't understand" speech starts. You've never been pregnant, Emma. You don't get how emotional it is. My patience snaps. Are you kidding me? She filmed herself crying on TikTok 2 nights ago, turning my boundaries into her own pity party. Lucas appears behind me, holding what looks like the nearest thing to a stress ball he could find, a lacquered kitchen utensil, and mutters, "We're sorry, Madison, but we said no." And we mean it. Her jaw drops. She flips to Derek on speaker, whining, "Can you believe this? She's actually locking us out." I take a deep breath. Yes, cold, I am cold. Because I have to be. You've shown repeatedly that my boundaries don't matter. That my day, my life, my marriage is just a stage for your drama. You want to stay here? You need to figure out your own consequences first. She storms off, dragging her suitcase, flipping me off as if that somehow wins her the moral high ground. Lucas and I watch silently, the air thick with sweat, tension, and a lingering sense of victory, because finally I didn't cave. But of course, the drama doesn't end there. My phone buzzes nonstop. Mom, Aunt Marcy, Grandma, all sending passive-aggressive messages about family, love, forgiveness. Madison posts another Instagram story, this time sitting on a porch somewhere, sipping a milkshake with the caption, "Sometimes you learn who really has your back." My back? Really? After turning my wedding into her pink smoke extravaganza? I sit in stunned silence, scrolling through comments from strangers calling me heartless, cruel, unfeeling. Part of me wonders if I'm overreacting. Lucas shakes his head. "Nope," he says. "You're not overreacting. And if you want, we block everyone." I consider it. Blocking family, blocking strangers. Peace at last. A week later, Mom shows up at our door, Pyrex dish in hand, The "I'm here to fix everything" smile firmly in place. "Chicken casserole," she says. I let her in, mistake number 1. She breezes through pleasantries, drops the casserole on the counter, and dives straight into the guilt trip. "You're mad, Madison's emotional, and now we're all stuck in the middle," I snap. "You're not stuck in the middle, Mom. You picked a side. Hers. Over mine. Over my husband. Over my wedding. Over my life," she freezes. For the first time, I see hesitation. I keep talking. I bring up every single incident Madison has pulled. Graduation hijacking, the red wine disaster at my bridal shower, cruel jokes at my expense. Mom's face crumbles. Tears spring to her eyes. "I didn't know it hurt you this much," she whispers. "Yeah, well, it did," I say, exhausted. "And if she keeps this up, I don't want to have her in my life." The tension breaks when Lucas accidentally knocks over a wine glass with the commotion. Classic. Mom quietly cleans up, muttering, "Not everything can be solved with a casserole." True. This isn't about food. This is about boundaries, respect, and the simple fact that sometimes love doesn't mean saying yes. Mom leaves after a while, saying she hopes we all come to our senses. Lucas and I eat half the casserole in silence, too drained to argue but secretly satisfied at standing our ground. Madison posts another social media update talking about windows and manifesting doors opening. But one thing is clear. She's not moving in, not now, not ever. For the first time in weeks, I feel some semblance of peace. Quiet, firm, and certain that I did the right thing, no matter what the internet, family, or my own doubts say. Saturday morning arrives. I'm sipping my coffee on the porch, still in my pajamas, hair in a messy bun, pretending I don't care that the world outside my window is moving on while my sister is plotting her next move. Lucas is upstairs, headphones in, blissfully unaware, and honestly, I'm grateful. Because I don't have the energy to explain my boundaries to anyone else right now. Then my phone buzzes. 3 words, "Can we talk?" No punctuation, no pleasantries, just vibes. I stare at the screen, coffee halfway to my lips, thinking, do I answer? Part of me wants to ignore it, pretend the universe agrees with my decision. But then, curiosity, stubbornness, maybe a little need for closure says, fine, let's talk. But 1 hour, just you. No Derek, no entourage, no smoke bombs. She shows up, hair in a bun, giant sunglasses, tired eyes. Not influencer tired, real, exhausted, pregnancy tired. She sits on my porch chair like she owns the place. Oversized hoodie saying "Mama in the making," doing all the talking she refuses to. Lucas disappears upstairs. Bless him. I want him around for moral support, but he knows I need to handle this alone. She starts rambling. First, the gender reveal. Then the "I thought it would be funny" part. Then, "I didn't think you'd still be mad." I listen. Let her get everything out, letting the words tumble over themselves. I don't interrupt. I don't react. I just watch. When she finally pauses, I lean forward. "You made my wedding about you." My voice is calm, but underneath it's sharp as a blade. Do you know what it feels like to have the day you planned for years hijacked? To have every guest looking at you instead of me? To have your moment stolen? She blinks, mouth opening and closing like a goldfish. That's all she can do. I keep going. Every milestone, every time she's made it about herself, every time she's refused accountability, graduation announcements, bridal showers, family dinners, nothing was sacred. You play the victim card the moment someone calls you out, Madison. You turn every situation into the Taylor, or rather Madison, show, and I'm done being your audience. Her lips tremble, tears welling in her eyes. Real ones, not TikTok theatrics. I just wanted people to see me. I felt so alone, she whispers. I shake my head. Then say that. Don't hijack my wedding. Don't turn my life into a spectacle just because you want attention. You want people to see you? Fine, but my boundaries are not negotiable. My life is not your stage. She's silent for a long time. Heavy, tense. No excuses, no spin. Just her, sitting there, finally hearing the impact of her actions without a filter. It's the longest 10 minutes of my life, and yet, somehow, also the most liberating. Finally, she mutters, "I'm sorry." Not loud. Not dramatic. Not even tearful enough to make it about her. Just, sorry, I nod. Not because I forgive her. Not because I welcome her back into my home. But because I've said what I needed to say. Because I've finally set a boundary that she can't ignore. I say calmly, "You can't stay here. But I hope you figure things out." She gets up, nods, and leaves. No dramatic exit. No doors slammed. No Instagram story immediately after announcing her side of the narrative. Just gone. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm standing on solid ground. The air feels lighter. Lucas comes downstairs, looking cautiously optimistic. "That went okay?" he asks. I shrug. Better than okay. Finally honest. We don't talk about blocking family yet. We don't talk about Instagram or Aunt Marcy's passive-aggressive texts. We just sit, quiet, peaceful, tentative. And for now, that's enough. Because this isn't about being the villain. It's about being true to myself. About protecting the life I'm building with Lucas. About knowing that sometimes love isn't saying yes, it's saying no when it counts. And for once, I feel like I'm winning. Not over Madison, not over social media, not over my family, but over the chaos that has been creeping into my life for too long. And that feels pretty damn good. A few days after that tense porch conversation, Lucas and I tried to settle back into normal life. Normal in our world meant unpacking wedding boxes, figuring out which IKEA shelf pieces actually fit, and dodging Madison's social media updates like landmines. But peace, as I quickly learned, is always temporary. It started innocently enough. Mom stopped by with yet another casserole, insisting we talk things through. I let her in. Big mistake. She breezes past the boxes and the chaos of our living room like it's a minor inconvenience and starts lecturing. "You know, family is family, Emma, even when people mess up." I take a deep breath, trying to channel all the zen I've been clinging to. "Mom, it's not about mess-ups. It's about respect." Madison has repeatedly disregarded my boundaries. She hijacked my wedding, and now she expects to move in, as if nothing happened. Mom's face tightens, her hands gripping the counter like she's holding herself together. I want you two to be close again. Sisters are supposed to have each other's backs." I shake my head. Not when one person keeps stepping on the other. I can't just pretend nothing happened. And I won't. That afternoon, I muted the family group chat. Every little passive-aggressive message, every guilt-laden plea, gone. Lucas supports me. "You need space," he says. "We've got our own lives. We can't solve everyone else's feelings." And he's right. But then came Aunt Marcy's DMs. "Sometimes you have to forgive Emma. She's pregnant. She's scared. Can't you let it go?" Can I? I stare at the screen, feeling my blood pressure rise. The audacity, the gall. After turning my wedding into a spectacle and posting every humiliating detail online, they want me to forgive? Lucas holds my hand, silent support, as I type a carefully measured response. I set a boundary. She crossed it. I won't apologize for standing up for my life. Send. Instant relief. The next day, Madison posts a house hunting reel on Instagram, captioned, "Doors may close, but windows open. Manifesting our way forward." 30,000 views later, strangers are flooding her DMs, telling her what a brave, radiant mom-to-be she is. And me? I scroll, breathing deeply, reminding myself that likes and followers don't dictate my boundaries. It wasn't all calm, though. I still caught glimpses of her online crying, subtly implying I was heartless. I ignored it. Lucas and I agreed. No engagement, no responses, no arguing online. Peace meant silence, and silence meant survival. Then came the subtle jabs and family conversations. At dinner, Mom casually drops, "I hope you're not still upset with Madison." I sip my water, considering whether to launch into the full wedding canon story again. Instead, I just shake my head. We're fine, I say. Honest, calm, and firm. Meanwhile, unpacking wedding gifts turns into an emotional minefield. Every frame, every floral arrangement, every leftover favor reminds me of the day Madison hijacked. But Lucas reminds me, this is your marriage now, your life, not hers. I repeat it like a mantra every time frustration rises. And slowly, things begin to shift. Madison's public pity posts decrease. The house hunting updates become less performative, more mundane. My family begins to see that I'm not the villain. Aunt Marcy quietly stops messaging. Even Mom begrudgingly starts respecting the boundary I set. I begin to realize something important. Boundaries aren't just walls. They're statements of self-respect. Saying no isn't cruelty. It's survival. And sometimes survival is exactly what love, self-love, marital love requires.